Quad Webb taunts Sweet Tea about her fertility struggles. At Married to Medicine reunion, Quad Webb criticizes Letitia Sweet Tea Lunsford for not having a baby yet in her marriage. The final part of the Married to Medicine reunion will feature cast members exchanging serious low blows, so much so that the cast was gasping. In a clip from the final installment, Quad Webb and Letitia Sweet Tea Lunsford are going back and forth as the couple's trip is discussed. The clip starts with Quad taking a shot at Sweet Tea, who is not having a baby at this point in her marriage to Dr. Greg Lunsford. Quad's comments had some of the cast gasping when she responded to T, saying Quad's too worried about Dr. G.T. responds, saying, "Girl, please. What is it? You didn't get enough out of the divorce." Later, Andy asks Sweet Tea if she has any reservations about Quad showing up on the trip. T says she was worried about drama because Quad speaks about her marriage quite a bit during filming. Quad immediately refutes this. Sweet Tea alleges Quad has a drinking problem and has 2 DUIs. Sweet Tea responded, saying she doesn't want to be Quad because she has nothing but failed businesses. When Sweet Tea says Quad has had 2 DUIs, Heavenly speaks again, telling Sweet Tea she shouldn't say that. But Sweet Tea doesn't step back from her allegations. Quad's actions during the couple's trip come up. Sweet Tea mentions how Quad was disrespectful towards her and Dr. G during the journey while drunk, which caused the issues. Heavenly tries to say Gregory told Quad to SDFU during that infamous segment. But Sweet Tea repeats what he says, which is supported by producers playing back the clip of the moment. Married to Medicine's Quad Webb needs therapy. Not a new man. Married to Medicine fans gagged last season when Quad Webb's ex-husband, Greg Dr. G. Lunsford, returned to the series with his much younger new bride, Letitia Sweet Tea Lunsford. At the time, Quad's relationship with her castmates wasn't in the best place, but it was awkward as the ladies attempted to welcome Dr. G's very naive new wife to the group. For her first season, Sweet Tea proved to be a formidable opponent and stood up for herself when the other women, especially Quad, gave her a hard time. The ladies gave her a hard time, but Sweet Tea won audiences over because she refused to back down and relished in the fact that she was the answer to Dr. G's true desires. She bragged about sliding into his DMs on Instagram and letting him know she was eager to meet him and hopefully have his babies. It was no secret that one of the biggest points of contention in Dr. G's marriage to Quad was his desire to start a family, while Quad prioritized her career and social life. While Quad enjoyed poking fun at Sweet Tea's simple nature and less than sophisticated wardrobe, the younger woman was solidifying her soft life future with Dr. G in Quad's former home. At her co-star's request, Quad's role in Married to Medicine last season was minimized. Eager to have the last laugh, she returned for season 11 with a tall, handsome man on her arm, ready to place obligatory band-aids over her wounded relationships with the women. In case there was any question about her new man's superiority to her ex-husband, his actual name was King, providing subconscious proof that she'd bagged a man worthy of being titled as royalty. This season, audiences have been treated to PDA-filled scenes, with King spoiling Quad as the two plan their future together. For her birthday, King had a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, wrapped with a bow and waiting for her outside their front door. Being gifted with a car that starts at $325,000 is considered a win on any reality series, and Quad was elated to prove she'd gotten the last laugh, or did she? On the recent couples trip, Quad consumes one too many drinks and her drunk mind betrays her sober heart. She goes on a rant accusing Dr. G of doing her wrong and pokes at his new wife. "I'm who you want to be, sweetie." She slurred at Sweet Tea while her king watched in amazement from the sidelines. And it proves she's carrying trauma baggage from her previous marriage. Quad is not as free from her previous hurt. Quad isn't alone in her painful rant. Instead of fussing back and forth with his ex-wife, Dr. G takes his frustration out on Sweet Tea, who is prepared to go blow for verbal blow with Quad. Dr. G exhibits the behavior most people associate with older men, who prefer younger women. He attempts to assert dominance over Sweet Tea while she continues arguing with Quad. Later, after the couple retire to their room, Dr. G is still visibly shaken by the exchange and tells his wife he is disappointed in her decision to argue in front of the group with Quad. King also shares his surprise at Quad's behavior, acknowledging she is still very hurt from her past with Dr. G. The other couples seem shocked at the palpable unhealed pain shared between Quad and Dr. G. Although their divorce was finalized in 2019, it's clear there is still some much-needed closure that neither Sweet Tea or King have been able to bypass. Quad's fascination with proving she is a better choice than Sweet Tea alerts audiences to the fact that she hasn't emotionally moved on from the pain she endured in her previous marriage. Even if Quad doesn't consciously realize she hasn't gotten over the past, her actions at the couple's trip highlighted her unhealed trauma in bold letters. During a trivia game, couples were questioned about the frequency of their sex lives. Quad was quick to brag inappropriately about her daily sex life with King, while the other couples were clearly uncomfortable with the group dynamic. Refusing to be outdone, Sweet Tea attempted to share the frequency of her sex life with Dr. G that was nowhere near the ridiculous account Quad claimed. Married to Medicine's resident psychiatrist, Dr. Mimi Sanders attempted to bring a rational perspective, but Quad quickly shot the suggestions and continued goading Dr. G and Sweet Tea. Quad needs to invest in some quality time in therapy like many women. Kai believed that finding a replacement with a younger body and a bigger wallet would make her the winner in love and Dr. G the loser. Quad has the better body, the better closet, and now the man spoiling her with anything her heart desires. Unfortunately for Quad, that is not the formula or antidote for heartbreak. Instead of prioritizing all the many trinkets she has, she would do better to focus on becoming the best version of herself that she can be. Instead of rendezvousing with King or even bragging about how much money he has, Quad needs to put that relationship on hold and get to some therapy quickly. Hopefully, after a few sessions, King can return and get to know, and possibly fall in love with the real Quad. As it stands, she and Dr. G would both benefit from some quality time with Dr. Mimi.